Historically, this is the time of year where I typically blow about $200 in 1 week on takeout, fast food, and dining out. And it's usually because I'm ripping and running. I'm trying to wrap Christmas gifts, trying to prepare for Christmas dinner and all the things. But this year is gonna be different. So if you are a busy 9-to-5er, entrepreneur, solopreneur, hustlepreneur, all the things, you're just busy, but you're also still responsible for managing the food in your kitchen and getting some food on the table, then this is for you. I'm gonna show you how my kitchen is set up to save me some money, how you can do it, and how I'm planning to save at least $140 of that money this year. I personally don't believe in doing anything without a strategy. I'm April, the kitchen strategist, and my goal is to help you stop eating your money so that you can redirect those savings to things such as building an emergency fund, paying for the vacation you've been wanting to take, or maybe you are ready to own a home. And I do this by sharing how your kitchen can be and is a financial tool. So don't forget to subscribe. You should map out your meals based on what you know your week is going to look like. So in my case, I know that I need to figure out some meals for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Christmas I don't have to worry about because that's Christmas dinner and it's treated completely different. And then I need to figure out Friday. I'll start by doing a surveillance of my kitchen. I'm gonna open up my pantry, which I have already positioned for busy times of year. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check out my video on how I stock my pantry with my staples to save me money. Then I'm gonna make my way over to my freezer to figure out what proteins do I have that I don't have to buy, because protein is gonna be the most expensive thing that's gonna eat up your budget. I also created a video about how I bulk buy my beef as well as how I prepare my chicken so that I at all times have some type of beef or chicken in my freezer. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is take a run through my refrigerator just to see what I have, what I don't have, and what staples are missing. Now that I've done this quick run through, we can sit down and we can start to discuss what's actually gonna be on the menu this week. Breakfast will be the easiest thing for me to consider because I always keep certain things in the house so that we can make breakfast. My kids like cereal, me and my husband like bacon, sausage, eggs, grits, potatoes, those things. So those are things that are always in my house in some capacity. I don't make a hearty breakfast every single day. Throughout the week, we will typically eat oatmeal because I can just use my Instant Pot and the oatmeal is ready for us in 20 minutes. And I personally like to have some type of fruit with my oatmeal. So breakfast is taken care of no matter what. When it comes to the leftovers, we typically eat whatever was for dinner the day before as our leftovers for the next day. So I don't have to do too much worrying about lunch either. Dinner is where the real magic is gonna come into play because I need to make sure it's not gonna take me more than 30 minutes to assemble or cook whatever that item is. Anything that's gonna be low lift, hands off. Dinner also needs to be something that will reheat well because we're gonna wanna eat that for leftovers and we don't want no rubbery leftovers. So for Sunday, I made breakfast and we ended up going to a Christmas function, so I didn't have to worry about making dinner. But for Monday, based on what's in my kitchen already, we're gonna have roast, rice, and greens. I have a bag of greens that's about to go bad, so I gotta cook them fast. I have enough rice. I don't have potatoes, which I would typically prefer to eat with roast. So now we got roast, rice, and greens. All do very well as leftover items. On Tuesday, what I'm gonna do is take a whole chicken, and that whole chicken is going in a crock pot, and that's gonna be shredded chicken. And I'm gonna make it very simple: salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder. That way we can add whatever kind of barbecue sauce, hot sauce, whatever we wanna make that shredded chicken into, that chicken can come alive in any capacity. But since it's Tuesday and we like tacos on Tuesday, we're probably gonna turn that shredded chicken into taco bowls. Wednesday is Christmas Eve. I don't know about you, but on Christmas Eve, I love to have pizza. And that's where a good portion of my cost comes in too, because on Christmas Eve, I'm typically trying to buy enough pizza for me, my kids, and if my siblings and my father are here because they are typically here on Christmas Eve. So I kind of like pizza on Christmas Eve. If you have a Christmas Eve thing that you love to do or a tradition, I would love to hear about it. So let me know in the comments. Is there something in particular that you and your family prefer to eat on Christmas Eve? Now we've made it to Christmas Day. I don't have to worry about that. It's a beast on its own. Then the day after Christmas, which is Friday, we're gonna have leftovers from Christmas, okay? So now I don't have to worry about that either. Saturday, that's when I start figuring out what my game plan is all over again for the week. Now that we've covered what the menu is going to be, I'm going to use my fill in the gap grocery shopping method before I even go out and spend any money. The first thing I've already identified is I don't want to spend any more than $60 this week having to buy food to lead us up to Christmas Day. And $60 is pretty generous, but I understand that the cost of food is through the roof, but $60 is the budget that I've set for the week. Here's what it looks like to shop filling in the gap. I already know what my menu is going to look like. I've already done a review of my kitchen to know what I have. But because I did this review, I also know what I don't have. Based on what I want to eat this week, and I got my little notes here because I will forget some stuff, so I just want you to know. Got my little notes here. We need lettuce, cucumber, pepperoni. We need cheese, and I'm buying 4 types of cheese, or at least 4 blocks of cheese. We need milk, because that's a staple that we're running out of. We need apples, pineapple, and eggs. Another staple that we are running out of. The apple and the pineapple are the fruits that I need to have with my oatmeal throughout the week. That is all I am getting from the grocery store. I'm sticking to my list. I am not going in there and getting anything else. Filling in the gap is where the real money saving magic happens after you've already prepared your pantry, your fridge, and your freezer throughout the year. I explained the filling in the gap process a little bit more in detail in my grocery saving system video, so make sure you check that out. But there's also a guide that I have that will break down my entire process as to how I do this all year round and continue to save money. There is a discount code for you if you look down in the description box. Let's talk about the kitchen tools that I've invested in that I'm gonna use this week to make this as low lift as possible for me. Because remember, I'm still busy. First things first, I'm gonna use my crock pot to make the roast. Put it in there, set it and forget it. I'm gonna also use either another crock pot or my Instant Pot to make the greens. I don't have to worry about that. Then I'm gonna use my little Zest rice and grain multi-cooker to cook the rice. Monday alone, I don't even have to turn on my stove. On the next meal, which is the chicken is gonna be also made in the crock pot. I'm gonna season it up and all those other good things, put it in the crock pot and let it slow cook all day. So when we get ready, all we have to do is shred the chicken. I'm gonna also go ahead and prepare my lettuce and my cucumbers inside of some airtight containers and store those in the fridge so that when we get to the days that we want to eat salad, which will be on the shredded chicken day and the pizza day because we gotta get our veggie in there, then all we have to do is go in there and assemble our salad. When it comes to the pizza itself, because I'm not buying pizza this year, remember, we're not trying to do takeout this week before Christmas. We've already spent enough money. I'm about to go ahead and make and freeze the pizza dough and we can make personal pan pizzas. I've already bought the pepperoni. When it comes to the oatmeal, I'm not gonna have to do anything with that either. Very low lift. I'm gonna end up making the oatmeal also in my Instant Pot Zest and Grain cooker. The only time I'm really gonna have to turn my oven on is Christmas Eve to make the pizza, unless we make it in my favorite thing, which is the air fryer. And because we're making personal pan pizzas, we will likely also use the air fryer to make those pizzas. Now here's what you really came for, right? You wanna talk about the money. Remember, I normally blow about $200. My goal was to only spend $600. That way I'm saving $140 that I'm gonna tell you where the savings is going in a second. But here's what I ended up spending. Back to my little handy dandy notes. I went to BJ's and I purchased 4 items and I spent $13.78. I went to Aldi to get the rest of the items and I ended up spending $16.18. The total for this week alone was $29.96. So I didn't even spend $60. In fact, I spent only half of that $60, which means instead of saving $140, I'm saving $170. I'm going to redirect that $170 to our anniversary vacation that we're taking in January. I hope this has encouraged you to shop your kitchen, use those kitchen gadgets you've already invested in so that you can get a good return on your investment. and go out here and save some money so that you can spend that money on something that you really want to do in 2026.